What is up, you guys? This is for the Femmes. Oh, we're kind of like matching shirts on. We didn't
Yeah,
we didn't
well,
do that on
actually,
purpose.
this is sports bra, so I'm gonna go to the gym after and
Oh,
stuff.
okay, cute. You guys, we have to apologize how busted we look last.
I didn't realize, and clearly neither did you.
You guys, we had no idea. Faithlin didn't have her hairbrush. I had only half of my lashes done, and I was like, oh my God. But for you, we still put it out. We were like, we'll suffer an embarrassment, but we'll
Yeah,
put
like the fact that that's in the world is
Dude,
really
I
hard for
know.
me
I
to
know.
process.
No one will ever make an edit of us ever again after saying that. He's
Nobody will ever think we're hot after that.
never again. I was like, Faith and I will actually try to like put makeup on and like have my hair done next time because I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
uh,
that was the lowest point of my life. I'm just kidding.
we
Of
got
my
it back
podcast
and
life.
we literally both we were like, what the fuck were we on? But the thing is, like when we were filming, like it didn't look that bad. Like I think that's the
No, it
scariest
did.
part.
I was also like tired and like vacation mind. I was like,
Yeah.
just fuck this and don't want to put makeup on. I'm gonna like,
No, 100%. But it's okay. We're here, just us two. We have a fun one this week. I feel like we need some fun ones here and there because
for
some of our
sure.
topics can get a little serious, as they should.
Yeah. So how was your week?
It was good. I'm like trying to think. It's so funny. Like I feel like I like put in my mind on what I'm gonna talk about, and as soon as I get on here, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna talk about?
I know you have to
Last
like
night.
it's tough because like you have to think of the highlights that you're
I
like,
know.
oh,
I'm trying to think. Oh, well, this weekend I went to the kid's birthday party.
who?
My nephew's birthday party.
Right.
Yeah. We're not ready for kids over here. It was so wild. And we were at like a kid's place, so I guess they're allowed to be wild.
I guess they're
First of
allowed to
all,
be wild.
imagine going, it started at 10 a.m. And they're like, well, yeah, because like kids have nap time, all this. I'm like, 10 a.m. I had to get to Jersey. Like, what the fuck? And of course, you know me, I couldn't just go the night before because I had to go out. So really, I kind of put that on myself. But I was like, you guys, what are these kids on? They were so much. Like, I had to sit down and take a deep breath because it was a lot. And I said, yeah, no, 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 this could not be my mornings every morning.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think that would be tough for you. I could have called that for
Dude, and
sure.
especially, I don't know if this is true, but what I witness is boys are actually crazier than girls. Like people
Yes.
always say that, but like I had a witness firsthand, and like I 100% agree. Like little boys, they
Yeah.
are on one. Like it's kind of insane. So that
Yeah,
was
I
a
think they
discovery for
are
me.
a lot. They're very high energy, but they like love their moms, but
Yeah, I think that's cute.
yeah, that's so cute.
But their
Like
like craziness was like not about it. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
so that
lot.
was a revelation. I like to say that still not ready for kids. So once again, my timeline is off
Never.
what I thought. Never right, because I would have had kids and be married by 24 if I had my timeline I thought growing up. Could you imagine
And
being
then
married
there's
with
me.
kids? I know. Now there's you, and you're actually living that timeline.
So funny.
What
Um,
about you? How was your week?
was that it about your week? I mean, a
Oh
week
no,
is 7 days,
I thought we
girl.
were just going back and forth, so I was going to
Oh,
go into yours. Sorry. Just being
well, my week
conversational.
honestly has been awful.
Oh yeah,
Like
you've had a week. Actually, I don't even know why I'm talking. You had a week.
I like literally hit my breaking point this morning and cried and just like broke down.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
There's just so many things that are like just so overwhelming, like
Hmm.
pride was pride is always, I think, a little overwhelming in the lesbian world because you
Because
see
you always
people
see so many people that somehow you're intertwined with, people you don't want to see. I hate
exactly.
pride always gives me anxiety. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. And lesbians can be really dramatic. And
Hmm.
so I don't know, it's just like it is what it is. It's like, oh, pride, but then I'm like, oh, pride.
You're like, oh, there are
Um,
people I'm going to be seeing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and honestly, like I don't love being in big crowds.
Hmm.
I get very overwhelmed, especially pride, because I feel like no matter where you are, everyone is like super crammed.
Hmm. Energies are high. It's like, yeah,
Yeah. And then my girlfriend's car got stolen, which
so
was
insane.
also just like so overwhelming. we ended up like taking a car because we could track the car and find the guy. And we found the guy and saw him in the car, which was just like such a violating
Mhm.
feeling.
Yeah.
Like it was just so weird. And we saw on the rear view mirror, he like hung rosaries from the rear view mirror. And we were like,
What the
and she
fuck?
still doesn't have her car back. So then there's that. And then honestly, everything just hit me with not being in New York for a while and
Hmm.
like just feeling overwhelmed
Hmm.
with not having my car at the moment because I'm going to ship it soon. But it just feels kind of like isolating. And it's like also at the same time, I didn't like fully comprehend. I'm like, I just like basically moved across the country again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, like that in itself is so much and such a big transition. And then everything else I'm going through that I've shared and that I haven't shared,
Yeah.
that you know about, it's like, ah,
Yeah, it's a lot at once. It's a lot of change. And I think for me at least, like change I really struggle with. I'm not
same.
great with it.
I think everyone
I
does.
know. I'm rarely like my routine or like my life and when there's something big that changes, like I really struggle kind of like getting into that. And of course, over time it gets fine. But like, and it's true, like, even what you were saying, like, yeah, you did get up and move. Like, kind of in the beginning, like, we all kind of thought you were just gonna, like, be very, like, be there for like 2 weeks and come back for, look, at least what I thought. I don't know why.
No, I mean, I did too.
And it's not like that anymore. And not a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's just like kind of how life, like,
exactly.
played
Like
out.
it's not a bad thing, and I'm really happy with all of this and like everything that's happening is just like
Yeah.
a lot. And
Mhm.
in New York, what I do in a day in New York, I do in a week here. And that is also
Crazy.
just such a transition because like you can walk anywhere, you run into friends on the street,
Hmm.
we're doing something every night. And
Hmm.
here, like it's not a very walkable city. And I love like getting my
Like,
steps in and
yeah,
walking.
100%.
And it's just it's different and I'm having to adjust. And don't get me wrong, like I'm happy in LA, but I I've just been thriving in New York for so long that it's like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I have to find my groove here and like figure out
Of
how to thrive
course.
here.
Yeah.
And then not to like dump on everyone, but then also on top of it, my psychiatrist who I do therapy with every week can't see me. So I haven't been able to do therapy in so long because she's not licensed here.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't even think about that. That's always so
yeah.
hard when it's remote too. And it's like,
Yeah, and just like again, going through everything and not having that support. And I really thrive like with therapy and need that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like a lot, but
yeah, it
I'll,
is a
I'll get
lot.
through it. Like
You will, yeah.
you,
No, it's a lot. And think it's also hard with therapy and like therapists, like it's really important to find someone that you connect with and like really have a good relationship with. Cause like I've been through so many therapists where I'm like, I don't like really like vibe with you. And it's really great when you find someone. So starting over sucks, especially when also
yeah,
they know your whole history. Like nothing's worse when you have to go through the whole history of the story of like all everything. I'm like, I like to stay with someone that already knows it all. Like, it's so much.
100%.
But you'll find another one. Ugh,
Yeah. And so it's just like, again, just so much change, so many different things I'm having to, even being in a relationship.
of
Like it's
course.
so amazing, but like that's so different when you've been single for 2 years and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, like we're a team and navigating that and still learning about each other. It's just
100%.
like, I don't know. It is what it is. It's fine. We should
No, it
probably
is, but it's a lot. It's a lot at once, and it's a lot of change and a lot of ups and downs, and it's like it's especially with your situation, I feel like it's a lot like things are going well and then, two steps backwards with like the
100%.
car or something like that. It's always like, what the
It's
fuck?
just like, oh, another thing. And not to say that my life wasn't necessarily like that before. Like I think
Yeah.
my friends know, like I just weirdly have a crazy life. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
something always happens, but this it's just like even more
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But nothing's permanent and
Yeah.
I will get through it. And yeah, I just need to find my groove here.
100%. Yeah. And it takes a second. It's not like the easiest thing. I think we always talk about that, especially in LA. I don't think it's the easiest thing to find your groove. It takes a second. And
Yeah,
luckily, you know people and you've been out there and you have your girlfriend and your girlfriend's friends and all of that. But like, it does take a second to like really find your own out there.
100%. So
Yeah.
that's my little weekly
Oh
update
my
in general.
God. Well, you'll get through it. You're fine. I'm sure next week will be like a positive one. We already know. It's like
Yeah,
one week, we always say like one week one of us is down, the next week the other way. I'm like
literally, it's
go
like
back and forth. I'm like, ah.
something's either just like not going right, or like
Yeah.
even the other day, like we were gonna film and then I didn't have the battery, and I'm like, fuck, like, oh my God, it's just all this dumb
Dumb
shit. And I'm
shit.
like,
I'm
it's
like
so
literally
inconvenient.
such dumb shit. But you know what? It happens. It's fine. And
Yeah,
you get through it. It makes us
yeah.
stronger. Like, hello.
Duh. No,
Duh. Da, da,
we're
da.
strong women, so
No.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
all
And it's fun
good.
topics today. So like don't worry. We won't be like in our
We
sad
won't
girl
be
era right
negative
now.
Nancy's.
Yeah, so our topic today is we did like questions and then Faithlin put another question up there. What was
Something you're afraid to admit.
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, good. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Me and Faithlin will share one. I feel like we obviously didn't put it up. But I was like, we'll share one. Because I'm like, I'm trying to think
Yeah.
what I would say. So we'll have that
Yeah.
later on.
I was
Um,
like journaling about something that I have been afraid to admit. And I was like, this would be good because like
mhm.
not many people say what they're afraid to admit out
Yeah.
loud. And so it's like
100%. No, and honestly, some of the ones that you guys replied with, like I related to. I was like, oh my, that's so true. Like,
100%.
so I'm excited. Should we get into
Yeah.
the first question?
Do you want to do the questions first or what everyone's afraid to
We can do
admit?
either one, whatever one you want.
Why don't we do what people are afraid
Afraid
to
of.
admit
Okay.
first? Do you want to share what you're afraid or something you've been afraid to admit?
Yeah, I think right now what I'm struggling with is that I really do have this fear of like the thing of the hardest part is like when you say this to people, everyone's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Like that's not gonna happen to you. But it is kind of true. Like some people just don't find their person. So I would say like right now I'm really, really scared of like kind of ending up alone or like, you know, I think the hardest part is that you don't have, and I think it's a beautiful thing and also a hard thing. Like, you don't have a guide to what your life is supposed to be like, you know? So then it's like you second guess things, and it's like, oh, should I have given this person a chance? Or like, should I have tried harder somewhere at this? Or like, you know, or like, what if I'm really just not meant to like find my person? Like, maybe I am really just meant to like live a single life or like be a single mom if I wanted to do that. Or, you know, like people do that. And like I can't ever say that like that doesn't happen. And so like I think one thing I'm really struggling with is like, what if I really just don't find my person? Because like we talk about it all the time. I go out, you guys, and I'm like, these are like, this is not my person. Or someone will talk to me and I'll talk to them for a little bit, or we'll have a little fling for a little bit. I'm like, but this is not my person. And I think that's the hardest part. And I've been trying to be, when I'm out, a little bit more open because when I'm out, you guys, I'm so shy. I don't like to go up to people. I try to be more open and talk to people. I have more of a smile on when I'm out. I swear. But like it's really not easy. And I think that's like the scariest thing. I'm like, I don't know, maybe like it's just not meant for me. So I think about that sometimes. So that would be mine.
I, yeah, I mean, if you choose to be alone and like you choose to do those things alone, I think that that's great. But also, you're still so
I
young in a
know.
good way,
Yeah.
And I think absolutely if that's something you want, you will meet your person. Also, just speaking based off of experience, and I think you can relate to this honestly as well. When you do meet that person, you just kind of know.
A
And it
hundred
takes a
percent.
while.
Mhm.
But if you think about it, it would be better for it to take a while to meet that person than to get into something that you're
Yeah.
like, I don't really feel like they're my person, but it's good for now.
Yeah. And I can't do that. Like that's one thing I will say. Like I'm not settling. I think
Yeah.
everyone I've said it 1,000 times. I can't go through another 5 year relationship and then be like, we're not gonna be together. Like that's not happening for me. So like that's what I try to give myself grace with. Like I rather take the time to one, really learn myself and grow. And I feel like I've done that. And like also really know the person that I'm gonna be with. And who knows, maybe it will take time. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's been like I feel like it's just always on my mind because it's like especially with like a lot of my friends getting into relationships now, which I'm so happy for all of them. Like it literally gives me hope because I'm like they are just so happy and found like amazing people, but it's also like another one's gone.
Yeah.
but it's okay. But
I
I
mean,
love,
also too, to put things into perspective a little bit, and maybe this can help you as well. Like, you know how old my girlfriend is,
yeah,
and this is
100%.
when we met.
Hmm.
And, I mean, you can never really say. And also, my grandmother, for an example, like she was married and then he passed away and she was basically single. Not saying that this is you, but I'm just, or
You
will
guys, I'm
be
not
you.
finding anyone till I'm 80.
Yeah, no, exactly. But then she found basically like a companion
Yeah.
at the during COVID, and they still like have dinner together every night and things like that.
So
And
cute.
she is so happy.
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I think
Yeah.
like you can't, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you're valid to feel that way.
Yeah.
And
And it's hard not to, I know you shouldn't put pressure on what I truly believe, like whatever is meant to be is gonna happen, like is supposed to
yeah.
happen. It just like sucks when like you're in that like waiting period.
Also, are you open to
Sure that
love again? Like, is that something you're like, I think
I
I'm ready
think
for a
I
relationship
am for the right person. And we talk about this. Like I think for a long time, really open up to someone really scares me again. I think it will always scare me until I feel like I found that right person that I could really let in.
again?
Um, I think from what you guys can tell, me and Faith and are like not the easiest people, and we have a lot of baggage and we have a lot of hurt and a lot of
No
things.
one's easy.
Yeah,
Sorry, I've
actually,
never
you're
been in
so
a
right. No
relationship with
one's
someone
easy.
who's quote
So don't
unquote
come at us and be like, well,
easy.
you guys are crazy because I know. But like I think the I always believe the right person will know how to handle your
100%.
issues and baggage and like know how to make you feel okay about that. And I think in our past relationship, at least mine, like I didn't really have that. So I'm like, I think I'm open for love and letting people in if it's the right person. And I think
Well,
that's just like,
yeah. I mean, obviously.
yeah. So yeah,
And I
I think I
also,
am, but I just would need it to be the right person. And they
I
need to
think
be
you
worth it.
should
Like I'm not
think
doing some bullshit.
I think you should think about that more and talk
Yeah.
about it more, because the more I thought about it and talked about it out loud, it's like when it happens for me, not to sound super cheesy and spiritual, but it kind of is like manifesting. I
Mhm.
think the more you envision it and like put it out there
Yeah.
is when it happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
it.
agree. I believe in manifesting. We always say this. I'm like, I think you
Yeah.
should talk about it and write it down. So I
Yeah.
think we need to be a little bit more open about it, but
Hmm.
we'll get it. Okay, what about you? What is something you are afraid to admit?
That I love everything that I'm doing and that we're doing, work wise, career wise. But at the end of the day, my number one goal in life is always to be a mom and a wife
Mhm.
and like be a stay-at-home mom and be a homemaker, and not because like I'm not ambitious or that I don't, that like I want to like rely on someone else. It's just always my nature. I've always
Mhm.
been so nurturing. I was a birthing doula. And when I was a kid, my mom would take me to the library when she was around. And anytime I'd go, she'd be like, okay, what do you want to learn about today? And I'd always pick pregnancy. I was always just so amazed that we could make
Yeah.
it's like it's just such a beautiful,
It's such
crazy
a
thing.
beautiful and insane thing to think about. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah. And especially like seeing our friends who are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, like it's just even more amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I think too, we live in a world where hustle culture is the thing. And it's like if you rest, you're not doing enough,
Hmm.
or like you got to keep going to exhaust yourself. And I think too, like feminism really is about choice. And I know we've worked so hard to have equal rights and equal pay and things like that. And I love that. And whether you're somebody who is a stay-at-home mom or you're a girl boss vibe, like it doesn't matter. I think like it should be about choice. And I feel like sometimes people look down on women who just are like, yeah, I want to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of my family. It's like, oh, you're just lazy, or like you don't want to do enough.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah, I
kind
mean,
of
not
looked
just,
down upon, I feel like, and I don't
yeah.
understand. I mean, I get what you're saying. Keep going though.
Well, no, I've just like, it's something I've always been embarrassed to really like admit. I think the people who know me, like you, were like, yeah, no, that's so
No,
you.
that's who you are. You are so nurturing mother. And even when I first met you, like one thing you said, you like, I cannot wait to be a wife and a mom. And a lot of people don't admit that. And like, I
Yeah.
think it's a beautiful thing because I think it is a job in itself and it's really hard
The
and
hardest, most
it's
important job in the
on your
world.
mental and everything. And I don't think it's a bad thing. And I do agree in today's society, like it's really hard for a woman to be like, I just want to be a mom and a wife. Like they're like, well, what's your career? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, aren't you gonna be bored or like aren't you gonna like
Mhm.
blah blah blah? Like, no, it's a job in itself and it's beautiful. And I don't think it's something you should be afraid to admit. I think more women probably think that, but just are like you and are like
Yeah.
looked
Or
down
unfortunately, a
upon.
lot of people can't afford to do that, and I understand it. But
Very
at the
true.
same time, part of me is like, don't you think you would like save money if you were home
Yeah,
babysitting
you don't have to pay for
or
like daycare and like
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in that position yet, and so I can't really speak on that. But
yeah.
yeah, that's something I've always been afraid to like admit to people who are like, "Oh, like what are you doing?" And I'm like, there's so many things I love, and like
Yeah.
even with making music, I love it. It's
Hmm.
so cathartic for me, but at the same time, I like don't want to be famous, and I don't think I would really do well with
Hmm.
that. I'm just so sensitive, but I would love to like write music for people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
And
yeah,
also
we'll see.
like when you're a mom, you can still have like I think people are
A
so like
hundred
when
percent
when like you don't have an actual I don't want to say actual job or maybe like a
nine
nine
to
to
five.
five. They're like, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, you can still do stuff, hobbies and like art and music and stuff. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't
Yeah,
need my kids will be the center of my world, but like you can still have
yeah,
other things you do. Like
totally.
it's
I
yeah.
think, yeah, like what you're saying, I think people think stay-at-home moms just like do nothing. And I'm like, first of all, have you just spending every single day cleaning a home, taking care of a
Mhm.
home, then taking care of a baby, and then like I think a lot of women have little like side projects
Mhm.
too, which I do as well. And I'm just
Also
like,
nurturing your relationship with your partner and make sure that's
yeah.
still good. Yeah.
And I'm like, you should try it and
Yeah.
just see, you know? I mean,
Literally.
even for me, like staying home, taking care of the home, and doing other things I'm working on, like that's a lot. And then add a baby into it.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my gosh, hardest job ever. It's 24/7. You don't, it's not a
24/7.
9 to 5.
100%. No, I agree. But that's a really good one. I think a lot of people can relate to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get into what a
The
couple of
viewers.
people said.
The viewer said, something I'm afraid to admit is I miss my ex. And I was saying I'm like, I'm sure so many people can relate to this.
Yeah.
Um, and I
I
think
can't.
no, 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 no. But I think one thing that took us to learn is like, do you miss actually that your ex, the person, or do you miss companionship? And I think that's super important to like distinguish
Mhm.
because for a while the lines are so thin, especially if it's a fresh breakup. You are like, no, I miss all this, but like, or do you just miss your companionship? Like, do you miss having someone there, not
Yeah.
exactly that person?
That's what I was going to say too to this was like, well, how long ago did you guys break up? Because you and I both experienced definitely a period where we missed our
Yeah,
exes,
a
you
hundred
know?
percent. How
And
could you not?
yeah, I mean, you were with this person for, X amount of time and it takes time. You really have to go through the grieving process.
And it's gonna be a roller coaster. We always said like there were months when we were so fine, there were months we weren't fine. Like it's a roller coaster, but I swear I give it time and you will grow from it and get over it unless it's truly something you feel like is worth fighting for and going back to it, if it was, I think it's once again it depends on the situation. I'm never saying you can never go back to an ex, but just,
Yeah.
really look at the whole situation if it is worth, going back into it because there is a reason you guys broke up. So is it
Yeah.
worth, fighting and re-looking into that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The next one, that
I
was
like my
submitted
best
was,
friend.
yeah,
Okay. I'm always, I think once again, it's all about the situation, but I think be open to talking about it.
yeah,
I know people are scared because they think it could ruin the friendship, but I think it's also harder to keep things in. From like my personal experiences, like keeping things in actually like has been worse for me than me just like actually saying it out loud.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think definitely if you feel like this person's into you as well, it could be helpful to share how you
Mhm.
feel, but I totally understand like feeling afraid to maybe lose the friendship because honestly, it kind of happens like after you break up with someone, if there's even possibility for a friendship, it takes years,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I get like
It's
that's
tough. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Sorry, I'm
the
like acting
next
like I
person said
yeah, I'm like
I'm
we have it on the stream like acting like I can read that far. Words
the
like
next
so.
person said I'm 22 and afraid to end up alone.
Babe, I'm right there with you and I'm way older than 22. 22, you are so young. And the person that I was at 22 is completely different than who I am now. So just know, like,
Mhm.
that is an age, like, you are in such a transitional and learning and growing.
Yeah.
You take your time with it, babe. You won't.
Yeah. I know it's scary too, and I think like your 20s is such a challenging time, you know, because you're like, wait, I'm an adult, but I feel like a fish out of water doing so many things.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people at 22 haven't lived on their own for a while. I mean, like for me, I've been living on my own since I was 17.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, 22, you're like just out of college, or it could be in college.
exactly. Exactly. So that's a hard time and like your frontal lobe isn't developed.
Yeah. Give yourself grace, have fun. I think honestly, make mistakes. Like one thing when you're younger, I mean, don't be like fucking that stupid, but like it's okay to make mistakes, just grow from them and learn from
Yeah.
them. Like
I've made
22,
so
I was a
many
mess.
mistakes.
I was a mess. I'm still a mess. Like you are always learning. Like,
I
please.
don't think I was that bad at 22. Like you met me at 22. I mean, I was going through a breakup, but like,
Okay, you guys, actually pause. Faith Lane is one in a million because she literally is, I swear to you, like a 38-year-old at heart. Like mentally, like that's just who she is. Like she is just so old for her age. So I don't consider you as most I met you at 22, I'm like, no, this bitch is literally 32. Like you are older than me. Please stop. That's not
yeah.
fair. You can't compare yourself to other 22-year-olds. Like you even know that about
Yeah.
yourself.
And I think anybody who's knows me would probably
No.
say that too. But, you know,
Yeah, but no, 22. I mean, I was wild at 22, but
yeah.
it's fine. We all are.
Someone
Don't
also
give
said,
yourself time. You're so young. The next question is, I don't know what I want to do with my life. So fair. I
I
mean,
don't
that's
think
something I think
anyone does.
exactly. I mean, I struggle with that all the time. Um, Especially when you don't have, I know, like I never wanted to be a doctor. I never knew what plan. I knew I wanted to be in fashion. I didn't know exactly what. I knew I wanted to have my own brand. I didn't know exactly what. I knew, I kind of wanted to be in somewhat social media presence. I didn't know what. Like, I think it's like, and I still don't know what I really want. I think it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
learn a lot about yourself before like deciding your career path.
Yeah. I also think it could change.
Mhm.
Like I've had so many like transitions almost in like phases of different careers. Like I said, being a doula. And then I was like, this is like overwhelming for me at this point in my life. I need to put that on the back burner. And
Yeah.
then becoming an esthetician and opening a studio. And, you know, now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to focus on the podcast and other things, you know? So it's like, I think it's constantly changing as we're changing. And there's different seasons of life where you can focus on something.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people are lucky and they could do something for the rest of their life. I'm really not that person. Like, I love learning and I love kind of like dabbling in different things like you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Also, there's so many people that like popped and became successful later in life.
The next question is, I love my partner, but I don't think they are the one.
Tough.
This one's tough. And I think you really, really have to sit down and really look into why you think like they aren't the one for you. Because I don't think that feeling will ever go away. And I don't think you should
Yeah.
settle.
Yeah. And I know so many people who got married and they were hesitant. And then after they did, they like realized that they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't want to just do something because you feel like you should because you have years behind you and like intertwined connections and things like that. But it's tricky because also, are you an avoidant person? Are you afraid of commitment? There's that could be an element. And also, I mean, when I realized my ex wasn't the one, it was so hard because you envision all these like future plans with
Mm.
them. And obviously, you love them and you're attached to them. And it's hard to kind of
Yeah.
let go of that, like you and I did.
Mhm.
But it's the right thing when they're not the person for you and when
Yeah.
you realize that. And I think it's good that you're aware of that.
Yeah. I think if you are aware of that now, I think you really, really should, give your time, give yourself time to look into that, like I said. And I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, it's not easy when you realize, like I'm going to try to either not be with this person and move on or see my life without them because it's not. Because, like, you were so fixated on what your future was going to be with them. So, in the beginning, it's not easy. But I think after that, you may realize, like, it was not meant to be and this is better off for you. So,
100%.
yeah, that one's hard
I
though.
agree.
I'm openly gay, but I don't feel comfortable in gay spaces.
I wonder why. I wish they
Yeah,
elaborated it a little
I
more.
know, I know. I mean, I feel like I still can feel uncomfortable in gay spaces.
Yeah.
I think, especially as femme presenting, I think we are looked at some type of way, or like we don't look really gay enough to be there. Like we always say, we've all had our moments where I felt like I needed to dress more gay to like go to these
Yeah.
things. I think it's really important to find a close knit, good group of friends because then when you go out places, it doesn't matter where you're at because you have like that support group and like. But like I do agree, like I don't love going to like gay spaces all the time and gay events. I just don't always feel, I guess I agree. I don't always feel as welcomed, I feel like.
Yeah. I can understand that.
What about you?
Mm, I mean, I think it's common. Also, I think there's a lot of judgment sometimes in the
Yeah.
queer community, and it's like you have to do things a certain way or people don't accept you.
Hmm.
And I think things can be misconstrued because we all view things from such a different lens, our
Yeah.
own lens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And
I
I
agree.
hope that you do find a space that you feel comfortable because I think it's nice to be around gay people and feel
Part of the
like you're
community.
yeah, like you're
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. 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 The last one was I'm not the person my social media makes me seem to be.
I get that. I
I
think a
think
lot of people can
most
relate to
people.
that.
100%. I think people try to be authentic, and I think some can achieve it, but not fully. Like I think always social media is always like the highlights. I always like to say. It's
Yeah,
just kind
it
of
is.
this life that I don't always think is true. And I think that's also another thing to really have another reason to have like a good core group of friends that they really know the real you and they don't
Yeah.
really care that much. They see past it. But
It's also not always real,
yeah.
even if it is a highlight. Like there are so many people who get paid to make content
Hmm.
and that's their niche or like couples, and like it's
Yeah.
easy to get into a space where you're comparing yourself. And
100%.
we all struggle with that, I think. And I recently saw a post of this girl. She was like, she's opening up a BlackBerry. She's like, I'm so sick of the phone having so much control over my life. And like, I'm not sure I would go to that extreme of getting a BlackBerry. It's kind of funny,
Oh my
but
God.
I mean, I get it. Like, I
Yeah.
have days where I'm like, oh, I just want to like throw my phone away. Like,
Hmm.
I can't. I scroll online and I feel confident and secure in myself, but it's hard to be like, oh, like, am I not doing enough?
Of course. Of course. I
Or,
agree. And I think even you're so right also with couples because I'm like that's why I think everyone's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they broke up." It's because they show you the highlights of their
yeah.
relationship. Like you don't know what's
Or
going on.
it's not
Or
real,
they're
or
getting
it's
paid.
for the
Exactly, they're getting
content.
paid. Exactly. So I think that's why you never know anyone's relationship or anyone's life really. Like
Yeah.
social media is such a lie, and I think always take that. Like always think about that when you see.
Always take it with a grain of salt,
Yeah,
for sure.
perfect.
Do you fall in love fast or slow? This is a good
Hmm.
question.
This is good. I think I can get infatuated with someone very quickly, but really falling in love, I don't know. But I think I can get crushes really easily.
Yeah.
Or I can get like
And
kind of
that's
like
like what a crush is, though.
love or infatuation. No, it's not love. I don't think so. I think I just like, I feel like when I find someone I connect, like I'm just like kind of like get a little cuckoo about them. But I don't think like I fall
I
in
think
love.
that's just girls.
I know, maybe it's that. What about you? I feel like you can fall in love easily.
I don't think I fall in love easily. I don't think I fall for people easily at all, but I think when
Really?
I do fall fast.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, the right person.
Because, like, I remember dating and I didn't like anyone.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I think there's like a difference between like crushes and infatuation and like in love. Like in love, I don't think I can fall. Unless it's the right person. But like that's everyone. I'm like, isn't it if it's the right person, like you always kind of fall in love quick?
Yeah. And when I was single, there was literally only like two people that I like that
Yeah.
actually like. I was like, oh, I think I like them.
Oh, my God. I do love a
So,
crush though. Isn't like a crush so fun? Ugh.
yeah, it is.
Until like those are always the ones that like fucking hurt the worst when like you actually like the crush and they fuck you over.
So
You're like, oh,
funny.
fucking bitches. They always say like the 2 month situation like hurt more than the fucking like 3 year relationship. I'm
I
like,
know. It's so
so
crazy.
funny. How do I get over my girlfriend's past exes since we are very different?
Mm. Well, I think that's a compliment.
Yeah, an
I think
upgrade.
obvious, yeah. I mean, clearly she wants to take a different
Yeah.
route and you caught her eye. And so I think it's kind of like the mindset half glass full
Mhm.
or is the glass half
Have
full or is
full,
the glass
yeah.
half empty?
And you also don't want to be with someone that I feel like has a type and like every girl is like a carbon copy. Like that's weirder, I think.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I think it's better that you are
Yeah.
different.
And I think everyone does it. I do think everyone compares themselves to someone's exes. I think that's like
Yeah,
human
I think that's
nature. And
fine.
like, but trust me, as someone who I don't think at all was my ex's type, like I actually like, it fucks with you more, I think, if you like harp on that. Like like you try
For
to be
sure.
I don't know what I was trying to say with this. I just like blanked. But like you try to be someone that you're not, and then it's like ew, like gross. Like
Yeah,
who gives a fuck? If it's the right
I
person,
agree.
they don't care about that.
And
I don't know
don't
where I was
stalk.
going.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't make
don't do
a fake
that.
account. Don't stalk because that's like fan
No.
behavior.
No,
Okay.
no,
And
no.
like you're not a fan. If
No.
you guys are listening to this podcast, you're not a fucking fan. Let me just
No,
say
no, no,
that.
no. And you can do it when you're younger, grow out of it. It's time. I feel like fake accounts were such a thing like 3, 4 years ago. Like that was like, like it's talking about I'm like, I feel like people don't do it as much anymore. Like I feel like I mean they do, let's be real
I
here.
don't have like a private account or Finsta or something
No,
like
I got
that.
rid of mine.
Honestly,
You guys, I was a Finsta whore. I loved doing some stalking, but I grew out of it. That was part of my therapy for the last year. Unless it was really, really needed, but no, I had to say goodbye to my Finstas.
yeah.
That's a
I
shame.
think just
I learned so much
stalk.
about people I had no idea what they were.
I think stalking just like hurts yourself,
Yeah.
because you're gonna see something you don't want to see.
And then you're gonna
Um,
fucking just like be stuck on it.
and compare yourself.
Yeah. No, I
So
agree.
I think you have to be mentally strong enough to say, this is probably going to hurt me
Hmm.
and it's just not helpful.
Yeah,
So don't do it.
I
Easier said
agree.
than done. I understand,
Yeah, we all
but
compare, but like you just don't
you
do
know, grow out of it.
it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Not that this person's doing that. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to do that shit. You're
mhm,
you're it's only gonna fuck you up in the head more.
I agree. Um,
This one could be kind of interesting for you. What do you think about a 21-year-old dating a 32-year-old? We love age gaps here. Age gaps, I don't think are a big deal as long as everyone in the relationship is like mature. Like
yeah,
it depends where everyone's like mental state is.
I agree. I agree. And also, too, I mean, like, sometimes the older person in the relationship has like a younger spirit and
Hmm.
just doesn't really, like, I mean, also, I think the thing is too, it's like if a man were to date a younger
We always,
woman,
yeah.
nobody cares. If anything, he's praised.
Hmm.
But in a lesbian relationship, it's like sometimes you get a second look. The emotional maturity and that this person is mature is in the same place. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Speaking from experience, when I was 17, dating a 29-year-old, I think that's inappropriate
For sure.
because I really didn't even have the life experience to be able to relate to the person that I was with.
Yeah.
Whereas now, with my partner and I having an age gap, we've been through some similar things and I've experienced so much more that I have things to actually relate
Yeah.
with her on, as well as like obviously having so many whatever things in common that people do in relationships, but also just like the life experience.
Yeah. I agree with that. I will say the only thing about 21 and 32 is you are very, like, when I was 21, I'm very different than how I am now in my 30s. And I think that's the only thing. And I'm not also going to say, like, you probably will get a lot of shit from people. I'm not going to be like, oh, people aren't going to care. Like, I think people will care. But
Yeah.
like you said, like, I mean, I met Faithland at 22 and she was so mature, has, like done so much in her life. Like, I think it's just kind of all about the situation and who the person is. But if you're just a 21-year-old, like going out drinking all the time, and then you have a 32 that, like, I think it's just kind of like maturity, like where
Yeah.
you are in your life.
And another thing I will say, sometimes too, there can be power dynamics with age gaps. And I've
Important.
experienced that. But like with my partner now, there is no power dynamic. And like, I think that that's really special and just honestly goes to speak to like who I'm with as well.
Yeah.
Cause like she has such an amazing career and like naturally is in a sense like above me in that sense career wise.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, she's had so many more years on me, but like
Bitch.
sometimes that can happen where people like are older and think that they have more control in a relationship, and I
Yeah.
think that's something to be cognizant of. Also, just because they're older doesn't mean they're mature or
Or have their life
adult.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's all about the
that's what I have to say
situation.
about that.
Agree there. I agree there.
Alrighty, do you have any extra red flags for this week?
Um, the only one I have, and actually it was so annoying because I was on my way home from Jersey, and like my dad and like people always ask me like, oh, like did you take like Route 80 or whatever? Like what did you get off on? But I'm like, I don't fucking know. I literally had the
Followed
map
my
quest, I
phone.
mean, on, and like the ways, like I just fucking do what it says. Like I don't know. Like I'm like, why does everyone have to be so serious how I got here? I got here. Like that's all that matters. I hate when people are like what highway did you take? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like
Yeah.
whatever MapQuest told me to do.
Also,
Why do you keep saying
MapQuest.
MapQuest as if I printed out my fucking directions?
Your age is showing.
Maps. I know.
Also, like, do you say the number of the exit or the name of the exit?
Exit
Like some
22.
people say
I
different
think I
things.
do the number. I'll be like exit 22.
Yeah. I mean, some people say different things, but I don't
Oh, that's
know.
interesting. I never thought about that.
An ick or red flag for me, I didn't have time to write something down because life has been crazy.
No, it's okay.
But oh, I'll say this. So recently this person tried to like put me down or insult me because of my age.
Hmm.
And I just thought it was really funny because I'm like, well, yeah, thanks for pointing out the obvious, but also like, fuck yeah, I am 24 and I'm
Yeah.
young and hot and I've like achieved so much. So like that's not a jab, but thank
No,
you.
but
Um,
thank
and I think
you.
just like anybody knocking on someone for their age, whether it's 24 or fucking 44,
Who
like
cares?
I think it's just weird. And like insecurity around age, I don't really relate to it. Honestly, I've always been like, I can't wait to be older and more
Mhm.
wiser and like more secure in myself. But I think a lot of people too are like afraid to get older, and I feel bad
Yeah.
because it can be scary. Like again, looking through it from that lens, like
Hmm.
same thing, is the glass half full or the glass half empty,
Yeah.
it's all about the way that you look at things, but I've never looked at getting older as like a bad thing or
Mhm.
something to be afraid of, but I know that some people do.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit opposite of you. I think because I'm here, that's why. Like I'm here, you know. But as long as I don't look my age, like I don't care. You know, like once I start looking my age, then I'll be like really pissed. Like once people start saying my actual age instead of like you just say like 27, I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Then I'll care. And then I'll be like, I'm gonna go fucking get it. Just kidding, I won't.
You're
But I
crazy.
mean, it doesn't matter. Kris Jenner got her whole face redone and she looks like 20 years younger. So I feel
It's
technology has my
actually
back.
insane. I mean, she looks amazing, but I mean, it's a bit, it's like, whoa, like you really do look so different.
Yeah, I'm like, so I feel good. Like I feel like I really just will never look old now. So
Yeah. And she
I feel
doesn't
that.
look like fake. Like she looks
No,
just
she looks
beautiful
good.
and
She
like
definitely
20
got
years
like the
younger.
Lindsay Lohan or whatever, like
Even
done.
younger, honestly. She looks like, I don't
Kendall.
even know
She
now, but
literally
she
looks
looks
so
very
good.
young.
So we're good. Okay.
We're so good.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Please rate and share this podcast, leave a comment, and always feel free to DM us any questions or anything you want our input on. We'll share it on the podcast. Bye,
Bye.
guys.